Hey, hello everyone. I am Ruben, the Director of Coaching for the WSA. This presentation is made for you, the U7 and or U8 Rec volunteer coach, to help you prepare properly for what's ahead. I'll show you quickly what you can expect of this presentation. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to highlight a couple of things. We'll discuss the learning objectives of the program, right? So you know why we do what we do. We'll go through the program setup to help you provide clarity on that part of everything as well. And we'll make sure that you have full clarity on what is expected of the volunteer coach, and rest assured, all right, some of you may have stepped in because no one else was willing to help. Really what we need from you is to facilitate and help create the best possible learning environment for these youngsters. Base knowledge of the game is helpful, but you don't have to be an expert on the game. You don't have to have a lot of knowledge on the X's and O's of the game. You really just simply have to be very good with children, positive, encouraging. But we'll talk about that as we move through the presentation. At the end of the presentation, I'll also share my email address with everyone. In case you do have questions, you can always reach out to me. So without any further ado, all right, just move it. So just sharing with you the core tenets of our development philosophy, right, so you understand why we do what we do, right? So there's three things that are key to everything that we do, right? We want to make sure players are provided with a sport for life. Wherever they end up, we want to make sure that the experience they have at a younger age, especially, but the experience they have is so good that they will continue to watch, continue to play the sport throughout their life. Right. And again, a good experience in a younger age will make sure that they'll stick with it. And whatever that means, whether they end up in travel, continue in rec all the way into the county, or even beyond, doesn't matter. The majority of people that come back to the game, whether that be as a volunteer coach, as an administrator, as a professional coach, do so because they love the sport. So again, fall in love with the sport, stick with it. All right. For actual learning to take place, you really have to love what you're doing. Right? This applies to every extracurricular activity. All right. And we can't forget this. Often we adults lose sight of this, but kids play sports. Kids take part in, say, soccer because they want to, not because they have to. I'll touch on what a child-centered environment is, but we want to make sure that everything we do is based on the needs of the children in front of us, right? Not on the needs of the adults. All right. So yes, we're allowed to demand them to pay attention. Yes, we're allowed to push them outside their comfort zone, but it shouldn't be at the expense of the needs of the individuals. The best coaches I ever had were able to take me places where I wouldn't have gotten on my own, right? And I knew that anytime, right, when they pushed me, they worked hard to make me a better player. They were always there for me, right? So that's really important to know, right? Look at the children in front of you. I keep repeating that. Make sure you form some form of relation with them to be able to help them become better. All right. Now, this is really important to know. All right. We'll touch on the actual age of the participants in this program, but they should be encouraged to try. At this age, all right, they don't, if encouraged, they will push past mistakes quickly. All right. Mistakes are part of the learning experience. Don't expect any child to be perfect, especially at this age. All right. They're going to make mistakes, but the manner in which we approach it is key. All right. Normalize mistakes. Without this, children may not push themselves beyond their own limits. Right. They will struggle to get better if we don't normalize mistakes. Right. Just for reference, child development is all about learning, making mistakes, and moving on beyond that. I mean, just to give you the example of a developing child starts by crawling, then pulls him or herself up, then starts to wobble, then walks, and eventually runs. Now, how many times along that way did they fall down? How many times did they struggle to get up again? They learn by doing, all right? And along the way, as I said, they learn from their mistakes. Last but not least, all right, soccer is truly a player's game. We want to develop capable and confident and independent decision makers. All right, so that's key, that last bit as well, independent. All right, give them a form of autonomy throughout the process. All right, soccer is a truly player's game. So a lot of what we do will be in like a game-like environment. right? So we'll focus on the individual development of the players, but we want to make sure that they're challenged in a game-like environment. This is key as well, right? Too many adults try to control what the children do, even at a young age, and tell them what to do all the time, right? We're in this example or this program in particular, I catch a lot of coaches telling players to pass, even though they're physically, mentally, cognitively aren't ready yet for that. But because we're forcing the adult version of the game on them, we're telling them to do all kinds of things that they're not ready for yet. Stay tuned, more on that later. All right, let players really drive the experience. So the core tenets of our development philosophy. I'll keep it up for about 20 seconds so you can read through this one more time. All right, so again, this is key. Now we're going to move on, all right, because this in itself drives everything that we do and also impacts how we run a U7 and U8 Rec program. Now, just to highlight this, again, it's about the kids in front of you. Make it about their needs. As soon as you start focusing on tactical concepts, tactical schemes, you focus more on winning than on actually allowing these children to make mistakes and learn along the way. You're creating an adult-centered environment. It becomes about your ego. It becomes about your needs versus the needs of the children. What do they need? They want to play. They want to have fun. They want to learn along the way. They just want to spend time on the field with their friends, playing the beautiful game. All right. If you are unable to recognize that, I hate to tell you this, but you're not suited to coach youth soccer, even at a young age. What you really need is to understand who they are, what they want, what they need, and use that knowledge to turn this into a good experience for the children that you work with. All right. So again, it's all based on the needs of the learner, those in front of you. All right. I touched on the adult version. All right. Unfortunately, too many people, once push comes to shove, they're very nice people when you talk to them on the side of the field. But as soon as they're on the field, they'll start pushing their own agenda. Right. What I also want to highlight here, it's not just the adult version or child version, that we understand the adult version of the game, 11 aside, complicated tactical schemes, doesn't mean that children that are 5, 6 years old are ready for that. Right? I'll continue to talk about that, but keep that in mind. We should focus on the child's version of the game. All right. So our program and development objectives. All right. This is really key, and I'll emphasize a couple of things here. So again, recognize who is in front of you. At U7, these children are 5, 6 years of age at best. 5, 6 years of age at best. They don't turn 7 till the spring following. And even at U8, they could be 6 or 7 years of age. That's very, very young. Based on where they are in the development, there is an egocentric focus still. They want their ball. They're not so concerned about those around them. That in itself, that alone already tells you that they're not ready for big tactical schemes. They're not ready yet for spreading out. They're not ready yet for, or the majority, I should say, are not ready yet for passing even, because one, they haven't developed the dribbling ability yet. Two, they don't see it, right? Their brain isn't fully developed yet. They don't understand what we do understand. All right, keep that in mind. It's about those in front of you. All right. So based on this, we focus heavily on the development of their ability on the ball, aka dribbling. This is the foundation, right? If you're unable to dribble the ball effectively, learning to play the game effectively will be a struggle. If you're unable to dribble the ball, learning to pass, shoot, etc., will be a struggle, because dribbling is the foundation skill upon which all these other skills are developed. All right. It's all about body balance, right? Being able to shift your body weight from one leg to the other while your knees are bent, being able to change direction, etc. Right? If we tell kids at a young age who are developmentally not ready for more complex tasks, we're going to hurt and hinder their overall development in the long run. Focus on developing their ability to dribble the ball. And it all starts with them dribbling a ball out of trouble. All right. Develop a soft first touch upon receiving the ball. All right. We do not tell them to pass the ball yet. All right. We're not encouraging them to kick the ball. Kicking is not soccer. Kicking the ball away Has nothing to do with soccer, right? Yes, when you're near the goal, you can shoot, right? But one is not able to shoot effectively if you're unable to dribble the ball well, right? If we tell kids at this age to start passing, it turns into kicking, and often they're off balance. These habits instilled after the younger age are harder to break as they get older. So focusing on the right thing at an early age is key to our success. And yes, there may be kids along the way, all right, who are able to dribble out of trouble comfortably, who pick up their head and see their teammates, and then maybe they are ready for passing. But given that they're 5, 6, maybe 7 years of age at best, that will probably apply to the minority of the players. Okay. Yes, we want to accelerate child development, but guess what? You can't accelerate child development. If there was a quick fix, we would give it to you. All right. Go through this, allow them to do this. All right. Dribble out of trouble, soft first touch, no kicking allowed, and introduce passing only when they're truly ready for it. Now, the developmental stages that players will go through, and the first one is key. They should be encouraged to dribble. Right? On more than one occasion, I've seen coaches discourage dribbling when kids are 5, 6, 7 years of age, right? Because they see, as in the adults see the game differently. They look at the adult version of the game. Yes, at an older age, there's a lot less dribbling, but between the ecocentric focus as well as their overall development, they're simply not ready for complex tasks. Don't stop them from developing because you have watched Barcelona play over the weekend and saw different things. Right? That's the adult version of the game. Those players started somewhere. They did things the right way as they grew up. Give them the opportunity to dribble. When I say them, give those players the opportunity to dribble. Encourage them. If they make mistakes, tell them to do it again. If that means that they don't share the ball as much, that's fine. Given their overall development, that's accepted and expected. Hard enough as it is, learn to dribble in a straight line, the next phase, right? You have the mindset, learn to dribble in a straight line. Learn to change direction using both your feet, right? Shifting your body weight from one leg to the other, making sure you stay in balance. Become multi-directional will be the last bit of it. And this is all challenged, trained under pressure in training, right? With some decisions as well, but this is all part of the development. These are the 4 stages. Very important that we go through these stages and are patient. Don't expect a 5, 6-year-old to go 3 stages in one season in U7 Rec. All right. If that's your expectation, then you don't have a good enough understanding of child development as a whole. I know we live in a day and age where we expect everything to be done at the push of a button, but child development takes time. All right. I'm highlighting this right now so you get a better understanding of, but a lot of players will struggle to dribble the ball in straight lines, even when they're encouraged and have developed the mindset to dribble all the way through the program. All right. There's no quick fix, as I said earlier. There is truly no, there are no shortcuts. You got to put in the time as a player, as a coach. You got to understand there are no shortcuts, right? If you look for shortcuts, are you truly helping to create a child development, child-centered environment, or are you focused on your needs again, adult-centered? So last but not least, the setup of the program. So the Saturday sessions, all right? They are an hour long. They're led by a professional trainer. All right. Every session on Saturday is done by a professional trainer. All right. There's a curriculum developed by the WSA, right, which we share with the trainers, which is implemented effectively by the trainers. It focuses largely on the individual development through games. There's a lot of 1v1 done, right? Almost every training session before we go into the game version, right, ends with some form of 1v1, challenging the players on the ball under pressure of a defender. Every practice is 40 minutes long, and actually, sorry, an hour long, so 60 minutes long, excuse me. 40 minutes of that practice will focus on the activity shared with professional coaches. Then there's 20 minutes of gameplay. 20 minutes of gameplay based on the format also used for our games on Sunday, which I'll touch on shortly as well. Now, the professional trainer leads the sessions. We highly encourage sparring coaches, volunteer coaches to help out. 1, so you get to know your players better. 2, so you get a better understanding of what we do. And 3, I'm a very capable coach, but working with a group of 5, 6, 7-year-olds is like herding cats. All right, trying to do that on your own effectively can be challenging. Right? The professional trainer will lead the session, but they're welcome to help. Right? Saturday sessions, Sunday games. So these are led by the volunteer coaches. We try to make sure that every team has more than one coach. If there's only one coach assigned, ask parents to help you come game day as well. We play 4v4 on small goals, no goalkeepers. If children are standing in front of the net, encourage them to step up and get involved with the game. All right, get them involved with the game. They should be playing, running around, chasing the ball. We use the new ball method. It simply means when the ball goes over the sideline, all right, we just roll a new ball in. There's no focus on throw-ins. Please don't use throw-ins. We focus on the new ball method. All right, this will increase the actual playing time. With that, all right, there are some advantages to this method as well. Because if I, little Ruben, am not as some of my teammates and or opponents, as a coach, you can roll the ball in to get me on the ball every so often as well. All right, so have extra balls ready. Ball goes over the sideline, get a new ball in. Right. What we try to do is use the very limited time that we have effectively. All right. Dribble in when it goes over the back line. All right, so the ball goes over the back line. Just put the ball down on the back line. Have maybe the opponents drop off a little bit. Encourage one player to start dribbling and dribble the ball back in play. Okay, as you can tell, no throw-ins, kick-ins, or offsides. This is the child version of the game. The version of the game that suits children that are 5, 6, 7 years of age. This is not something just we came up with. This is also set forward by even our governing body of soccer in the U.S., U.S. Soccer. Right? By not including throw-ins, kick-ins, and offsides, we want to increase the actual playing time. Not the time set for the game, but the actual playing time. Right? If we start focusing on throw-ins, kick-ins, and stuff like that, the actual playing time will decrease drastically. And knowing that these kids in U7 and U8 Rec only train on Saturday and play one game on Sunday, there's not a lot of time. We want to use the time effectively. All right, so the new ball method, I want to highlight that one more time. Increase the actual playing time. Not the times that we have given for the game, no, the actual playing time. I have in the past done actual, I wouldn't say research, but I've actually measured the amount of time the ball's in play with methods in which we focus on kick-ins, throw-ins, or whatever it is, versus the new ball method. And the amount of time the ball's in bounds on the field using the using the new ball method is far greater than when we focus on getting the ball in from the sideline, using a throw and a kick in, whatever it may be. So again, to repeat, the new ball method, the ball goes over the sideline of the field, roll new ball in, have extra balls ready. Make sure that you have multiple adults around the field set up in such a way that whenever the ball goes out of bounds, whoever's closest to where the ball goes out of bounds is able to roll a new ball in. When it goes over the back line, just have one child dribble the ball back in, all right, starting on the back line. And again, dribble. Don't tell them to pass. Too many times I still see coaches, when they give the ball to a kid, and tell them to pass the ball right away. Focus on dribbling. Increase the actual playing time. Make good use of the time that we have. Last but not least, expectations for you. What do we expect of the volunteer? You are a facilitator. I would almost say you're a facilitator versus a coach, right? A coach, if you those that take it, if you think of yourself as a coach, you may start thinking about too complex concepts that the players aren't ready for yet. Really, what we want to make sure we do with your help, and we appreciate your efforts, is that we have adults around that can help make sure these kids are able to play. Right? There's not a lot of coaching happening. There's encouragement happening. Allow them to fall over the sport. Allow them to dribble the ball. Allow them to develop their ability to dribble the ball effectively. Again, as stated earlier, that takes time. It's about the children. This is about the 25th time I've highlighted this. Everything that we do, as I tried to explain in this presentation so far, is about the needs of the children. Put them central. All right. Now, we don't keep score in this program. All right. There's a reason for it. We don't care about the score. Now, unfortunately, given how teams are divided, it could well be that one team is much stronger than the other. That happens. Adjust accordingly. All right. Maybe the team that scores maybe too many goals should be told to held back a little bit. All right. Find a way to deal with it without worrying about the score. All right. We want to develop everyone, give everyone the same chances in this program. All right. And use the other parents. All right. Let them know that these are the program objectives. All right. You can use additional parents to make sure we increase the actual playing time, as stated before. If I'm a coach of a team in U7 U8 Rec, I would get other parents to help me out along the way as well. Get them to buy into. Also, let them know that we're not focusing on passing or kicking the ball. Again, kicking is not soccer. Understand that. All right. And last but not least, how do you measure the success of a coach? I'll tell you right now, if all these kids want to come back next year or do stuff even in the winter and spring, where you know you're onto something. Player retention in itself is already a key measure of success. Right? If they get better, hopefully they will get better along the way as well. You know you're onto something. Right? Most important of all, this Einstein quote applies here as well. Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. What a wisdom, right? We're talking about 5, 6, 7-year-olds at best. Keep that in mind. The child version of the game, it's about their needs, not yours, not of any of the other adults. Unfortunately, we as adults have a tendency to screw things up for children, have them fall in love with the game, create a child-centered environment, and we're starting, right, with a focus on the individual to help them become capable and confident, independent decision makers. Right? Understand that. That's what we're looking to do. Now, if you have any questions, right, this is my email, right? doc@westfieldnjsoccer.com. Once again, doc@westfieldnjsoccer.com. I'm willing to give you more information if you need more. I think this, I believe this presentation gives you good insight on what is expected. But again, I'm here to help you. When it comes to our development philosophy, implementing it successfully, as well as making sure that we run age-appropriate sessions based on the needs of the individuals that we deal with, the individuals in front of us, that's where I am your guy. Don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for all you do. We would not be able to run this program successfully without you. Have a good day.